to Made for More Living.
One small step for man.
With Johnny Jennings.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
The fastest and most exciting hour of news, events, and real estate in Northern California.
And this is a fact that was proved.
Online at madeformorerealty.com.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Get ready. Here we go.
On today's show, we have some eXp royalty. We have Susan McClain. She's the Vice President of Agent Success. Welcome on the show, Susan.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Well, I am super excited to talk to you because eXp is all about, so for those of the listeners who don't know, Made for More is powered by eXp Realty. And as such, we have some incredible tools. I don't know if you knew this, Susan, but I've heard rumors that 1 in 2 transactions in my market in the greater Sacramento region, 1 in 2 are typically closed by a eXp agent. Isn't that crazy?
I love it. That's a great stat. I don't doubt it one single bit.
We're in eXp Mecca here, thanks to Big Brent Gove. But anyways, talking about agent success, talking about reasons why we are closing so many deals, like I wanted to have you on here and just kind of go over briefly 2 things. One, about how eXp supports individual agents. And then in the next segment, we'll discuss how they support teams and why teams, boutique brokerages, even medium to large size brokerages are migrating over to eXp because of all the tools that we provide. But let's start with agents. So what is it that eXp does that's different from your typical brokerage to support their agents?
That's a great question. And I think and so I've got 20 years in real estate, right? So been with many different brokerages, seen real estate from many different perspectives. And I think the one thing that stands out to me that eXp does better than anyone else is we give you a path from wherever you are to wherever you want to go. Now that path is different for everyone, right? So if we have someone that's brand new in real estate, their path is going to look a little bit different than we have for someone that wants to hit icon, or maybe they are an icon agent or they're a team leader. But whatever your path is in real estate, you can get plugged into the things that will help you, the tools, the training, the support, the community, the culture. You have to plug in though, right? So a big part of my job is keeping agents at eXp, keeping them happy and productive and selling. And I will tell you, I'll talk to agents quite often and I'll say, tell me the last thing that you took. What was the last step that you took at the company to get from A to B? And many times they don't have an answer for me. So the agents have to plug in. But if you're looking for what's my next step, we will show you that path. I promise.
There's a definite roadmap. Like you said, whether you're selling one house or whether you've sold 1,000, there's a roadmap for you. And one of those roadmaps for agents is FastCap, right?
Cap. Yes, FastCap.
I've heard great things about it. I haven't gone through it, but can you explain a bit about what that is?
Yeah, so FastCap exists because of a fabulous guy that we hired a couple of years ago now named Brian Ellington. So if you don't know Brian, he's our Chief Learning Officer. Phenomenal history and resume in real estate. He's the best at what he does. So Brian came into eXp not that long ago and said, all right, my first order of business is to make sure that anyone who wants to get from A to B, right, they have a path. And so he started with FastCap. So what Brian did is he came in and he started interviewing all of the agents, the brand new agents in the business that came to eXp and they were able to do 10, 20, 30, whatever their number of transactions were, these absolute new agent rock stars. And he said, tell me how you did it. I want to know everything. I want to know your activities. I want to know your scripts. I want to know what you said to yourself when you doubted yourself. I want to know everything. And so we did all of these in-depth interviews with all these rock star new agents who absolutely killed it in business. And what he did is he created their playbook. And he said he took the best of the best from the best of the best, and he created FastCap. So FastCap teaches you all of the tools that you need, all of the things that you should be doing to go from zero to being a capping agent. It is phenomenal. But the funny thing is, not funny, but interesting thing is he developed that by talking to new agents who just absolutely hit it out of the ballpark. But what happens is we've had so many capping and icon agents and mentors and team leaders that have taken FastCap because we all have to go back to the basics. The market changes, circumstances change, your business might change, you have a bad month, you have a bad quarter. And instead of going, okay, well, what do I do now? Take FastCap and get reminded of those things you should be doing.
What I really like about what you shared about FastCap was that it was built by or designed by newer agents. It's not like somebody who was doing this 30 years ago and has maybe lost touch with what's working now. It's relevant, it's current. By the way, how much does it cost for an agent to join FastCap and to go through it?
There's no cost. It's included, right?
Okay, that was not a trick question. I didn't know. Because some brokerages do charge. They do charge for their training.
A lot. They charge a lot, right? So I always explain it like this, and I stole this, and I'm going to give credit. I stole it from Tony King, who's one of our VPs of growth. Tony is phenomenal, and he explained it like this to me once, and I'm like, oh, that's the best visualization ever. He said we offer a vending machine, right, of all of these things, whether it's FastCap or Fast Attract or the icon training, or just like any number of things. We offer all of that. It's in the vending machine. And so we all put our monthly dollars in, right? If you're a US agent, it's $85. So we all put that in. But so many of us walk away without making a selection. And so make a selection, right? You wouldn't put your, $5 into the vending machine and not get your Snickers bar, right? So don't walk away without making a selection. So it's included in the vending machine.
And including that vending machine, there's all those programs, specific programs you just mentioned, but then just in general, I believe there's over 80 hours of like live instruction every single week.
Yeah, and I think that don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that's an old stat. I'm sure we're 100% sure we're way above that now. So we have KGCI, which is our radio station. And so it is playing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you don't listen to KGCI when you're in the car between showings or have it playing at your open house, like that is 24 hours a day.
I didn't know this. Where do you go to listen to it?
You can go to any podcast.
Like iHeart or
you can go to any place that has podcasts. You can log on to YouTube. If you go to the eXp Realty YouTube channel, you'll see it. You'll see it there. So any place that you listen to streaming radio, you can listen to KGCI.
Wow. So it's basically like a podcast, audiobook type of a learning environment.
Learning, yeah. And it's just fabulous agents, trainers, coaches. I mean, you name it, giving away their playbooks of this is what I did to, get where I am today. This is how I'm successful. This is what I did. This is what I teach others to do. And so it's 24 hours a day.
That's cool. I had no idea eXp offered that. All right,
right?
So we got FastCap. It's in the vending. I mean, that vending machine is gnarly. That's probably the number. If there is a complaint with eXp, that's the number one complaint. Like, there's just so much. And so if somebody was looking to plug in, if they're new to the brokerage, if they have been with the brokerage a while and they kind of feel like an island, what's a good way for them to re-plug in?
I think that's two places. So number one, go to our toolkits. There's two ways to get to our toolkit. So it's, I think it's exptoolkit.com. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure you can put the link up. I'll send it to you. But if you go to your My eXp account, so all of the agents have their own My eXp account, right? And you go into...
You're right, by the way, exptoolkit.com works.
Hey, look at that. See? I know something.
That's why you're VP. Yep.
That's right. I know one thing. That's about it. But then, so you can go to that link or you can go access it through your My eXp page. So all of our, anything new that we launch, anything new that we announce, anything new that we have coming out, we create a toolkit for it. So there's an attraction toolkit, a retention toolkit, a Slack toolkit, a luxury toolkit, land and ranch. I mean, there are probably 30 toolkits on that page.
Yep.
And so all of our stuff and things, right? The new things will be.
This is the vending machine.
That's a great place to see what's in the vending machine.
Okay.
So that's one place. The second place is, and if you haven't been here for a while, definitely go check it out. And this again is credit to Brian Ellington and his team. It's the new eXp University page. So expuniversity.com. We were talking about pathways earlier for agents. And if you go to the university page, you'll be able to select courses by path, right? I'm a new agent, I'm a capper, I want to be an icon, I want to attract agents, I'm a team leader. Whatever the pathways are, you can select your specific path.
Freaking love that. Yeah, I did not know, because you're right. eXp University used to be on there, was a little hokey back in the day, but this looks way better.
I know. And that's literally one of the first things. So he changed it and then changed it right away. And then he actually built what he wanted. And he just recently launched that. So, and that's not just him. His whole team is phenomenal.
Yeah. So just for the listeners and people watching this, I see emerging agents, cap and icon agents, teams, attractors, new to eXp. Those are some different tracks that you can take at expuniversity.com. And then on the toolkits, there's so much there. Like there's, because we do have Canva. I don't know if we're the only, but we were the first to have that integration with Canva.
Yes, absolutely. And at the level that we have it too, right? So the enterprise level. So you have access
for free.
to, yes, yeah, again, part of your toolkit, exactly.
Part of that toolkit. I see you have the CRM of choice. So we do have those 3-4 different CRMs that you can choose from, not just the one. And then I see, what else do I see? Land and ranch, lead protection, luxury, onboarding, mentor, seller toolkit. That's really cool. Like it helps you create a listing presentation and communicate with your sellers. There's just a lot of great, I like how it's broken down. And that's it. Like it took me just a couple seconds to scroll through. And that's probably everything I would need if I was a new agent or existing agent with eXp to plug in.
And if you go to the retention and sponsorship toolkit, it is under one of the preventable reasons that agents leave. And I think it's number 2, which is they don't understand the value that the brokerage provides. There is a slide deck and it's eXp Value Explained is what it is. And so we've put together a slide deck essentially, and it's kind of the same thought pattern. So you can go in the first or the second slide page is I'm a team leader, I'm a new agent, I'm an aspiring capper, and you can see our tools just for your path, right? Because if you're a brand new agent, you don't care that we have Team Leader Academy. We're not going to show it to you if you don't want to see it, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's where it kind of felt like you're at a big buffet. Like, have you ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
I have, yes. And
and then and you have the thing that you turn if you're hungry or you want more food. Well, the first time I went to a Brazilian steakhouse, I like loaded up on like the buffet and all the stuff. And then they just kept bringing the meat. I didn't realize what I had signed up for. Yeah. And then it was just too much. I couldn't consume all of it. And then I realized, wait, when I went back a second time, hey, I know exactly what I want. I'm avoiding the buffet. And so this kind of helps you narrow down, that Brazilian steakhouse effect.
Yes, that's a great analogy. I like that.
I don't know if it's great, but it's an analogy. Yeah. So, all right. Well, wonderful. Well, when we come back, we will be discussing. So we've talked about, so far we've talked about agents, whether you're new or been with eXp a while, but you're wondering, hey, where are all these resources that I'm paying for? How do I access those? So we've gone over that, exptoolkit.com and expuniversity.com. We've gone over that, but let's say you're looking to grow into a team or you have a team. I'm curious to hear more about what resources eXp provides for aspiring team leaders or current team leaders when we come back.
It's probably on a weekly basis where I will talk with someone who wants to sell their home, but they say, Matt, well, first I got to do this, and then I got to do that, and first I got to do this. And they're talking about all these repairs and things they have to do on the home before they can put it on the market. Like the backyard needs some updates on the fence over here, or the bathroom needs this fixed and the kitchen needs upgraded here, and the roof needs this done. And I'm like, well, have you called Johnny Jennings first with Made for More Realty? Because he's got this great program where he will give you at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. So no repairs, no organization, no staging, no open houses, just 3 cash offers on your home as is. So imagine the relief and the time saved and the expenses saved if you can just make it easy, simple, quick, and he's going to net you the most money possible. So what do? You just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. If you want an easy, simple, save you a lot of time and hassle, just reach out to him. Again, Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.
This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
So we are back with Susan McClain, VP of Agent Success with eXp Realty. And before we get into talking about teams and how eXp helps grow teams and support teams, there was one thing you wanted to mention, Susan, that's on that eXp University page.
Yeah, and I think it's overlooked sometimes, right? So we bring in one of the top real estate trainers for our solo agents, Jared James, and he does a training just for our solo agents every single month, and you'll see it on the university website. But again, if you think about what so many agents pay to be coached and trained by Jared, but yet we're going to bring him in every single month to train you on how to get from A to Z and how to overcome the obstacles and all the things that we deal with in real estate. And it's included in your buffet, right? Or in your
fee, yeah,
in your vending machine.
Vending machine, that's the one, yeah.
Vending machine, yes. So I just thought that was really important, and I wanted to make sure that that our agents knew about that.
So fun fact about Jared James, one of the agents in our marketplace was trying to get him to come out and speak at an eXp rally. And so she reached out to him. He responded. He was super nice. But she asked, "Hey, what do you charge?" And I believe his fee was like $15,000 for like just a couple hours just to come out and speak. And so just to put in context, the value, like 2 hours of Jared James' time is worth about 15 grand for him to come out and meet you in person, or you can tap into that type of resource for free if you go on to expuniversity.com.
Right.
Pretty cool stuff. So that's Jared James. Also, if you don't know who he is, I suggest you follow him on Instagram. A friend recommended him to me a while back, and he probably puts out the best overall, like keeping agents informed content. He recently dropped something that has to do with ChatGPT and Zillow. So if you haven't watched that video, go find Jared James on Instagram. But moving on, let's talk about teams.
Yay.
So I have a team, right? We're a team. Made for More Realty. We're white labeled. We were fortunate enough to get that distinction, but there are so many teams and so many brokerages and so many organizations coming to eXp specifically so they can grow their business. We recently had Spring Benson. She was one of the top, if not the top, team leader over at Real Brokerage. She moved over to eXp Realty and left that whole, revenue share business that she had because she said, "Hey, I will make more money. It'll be worth it for me. It's better for my agents. It's better for everybody to come over to eXp." So can you share a little bit about what's driving people to make that change, Susan?
So I think from a team standpoint, we give team leaders, and I was actually talking to Leo about this morning. We give them so many quivers arrows in their quiver.
Right? Yeah.
Arrows in the quiver, right. All right. Leo's going to be like, "Hey, don't misquote me." No, I'm just kidding. So arrows in the quiver, right? No matter what you're looking to do as a team, one of the things that we launched this year, actually in January, was Team Leader Academy. And that's something that I brought to the company through EOS. EOS is the Entrepreneur Operating System. And so I ran a brokerage on EOS. I know it. I love it. I understand it. And I've wanted to bring it to eXp for a long time. And we did that this year through Team Leader Academy. And just the ability to kind of look outside the box and say, what are we missing for our team leaders? Oh, we're missing a foundation, right? We need to give them that foundation to be able to scale and run a profitable business and have accountability that's not scary for their team members and have vision alignment, all of the things that go with EOS. So I think we do a really good job at looking at what we provide and saying, where are we missing the boat? We're missing it over here. Let's bring in and let's fill in the gaps. So I just think that our teams have absolutely every single way to succeed in front of them.
And what's crazy is, so you brought that into eXp, the EOS?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that like I didn't hear about it from you, but I've seen so many other EXP team leaders leaning into this EOS model. Like I think Kyle Whistle utilizes it down in
Kyle.
San Diego.
Yeah.
There's just
Kyle,
there's
Dan.
yeah.
Yeah. Tina
Who else do you
Call.
know? Tina uses it.
Yeah. Tina Call, Lauren Rosen. Gosh, who else? I'm trying to think. So I created an advisory council of team leaders that already used EOS. So they ran on EOS before we brought that to EXP. And so
Okay.
Kyle, Dan, Tina Call, Lauren, Veronica Figueroa, and I feel like I'm missing someone, but yeah. So I brought the biggest team leaders who run on EOS and said, "This is what we're bringing. Help me put it together so that we give the absolute best value that we can to our team leaders." And so we hire EOS implementers to teach Team Leader Academy. 4 of the 7 sessions are taught by EOS implementers. But again, it just teaches you so many things on how to run a business, not just a real estate team. It's how to run a business, which is
Yep.
what EOS is, right? It's not just for real estate. It's a business foundation.
Hmm.
So it's been really cool to see team leaders who didn't know what EOS was, and they sign up and they go through Team Leader Academy, and they've grown their business. I had the team Peterson Jackson. They're in Michigan, and they were in our beta version, our beta launch of Team Leader Academy. Since that beta ended, and that was in February, they've added 48 team members to their team. It's
Wow.
just super cool to see what some of those team leaders have done. But that's just one thing, right? So that's Team Leader Academy. But
Yep.
we have John Cheplack, just like we have Jared James for our solo agents. We have John Cheplack once a month for our team leaders to do coaching and training and overcoming objections and how do you stay, top of mind and all of the training that they need.
So with John, is there any extra charge? Is that free like Jared?
Nope, it's
No.
it's included. It's
Oh my
included.
gosh. So Brent Gove flew John out. Man, I don't remember what one it was. 2020, 2021. That guy is also not cheap.
Yes.
He is definitely not cheap. So, but you're
Yeah.
getting so much value again for part of that monthly fee that you're investing in your business with eXp Realty. So,
So
but
John was my first real estate coach.
really,
Yes, yes. So
so you
he taught
started
me
with the
recruiting.
legend.
Yeah, this was back before he was the John Cheplack. But I was a little managing broker, and I had a really small office. And we brought him in to teach our brokers how to recruit. And it worked. I grew from like I had 12 agents when I started to 80 agents and #1 market share. We were like that office was losing money when I took it over, and it was very profitable when we were done. So just super cool. I learned a lot from John.
And so can you, if you come over to eXp and plug into eXp University, or if you're already here and you didn't even know that this existed, right? And then, but the EOS training, is that free or is there a cost for that?
There is a cost for that because we're bringing in EOS implementers. So
Okay.
we're paying them to teach you how to run your business on EOS. So it's $2,500 to get certified, and that's the 7 sessions. It comes with 1,000 other benefits, right? Other than just learning EOS. There's growth
Yeah.
assistance, there's discounts, there's freebies, there's ongoing classes, there's masterminds, all kinds of things that we wanted to bring so much value to our team leaders, understanding that we have to pay EOS implementers to teach them. I could come in and teach you how to run on EOS, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to bring in the certified EOS implementers, and that's what they do all day long for a living.
So Brent recently started. I keep referencing Brent. For those of you who don't know, Brent is a legend at eXp and a local legend within the Sacramento market. Had a radio show for many years here. Was at one point one of the top agents in the state of California. But he recently started implementing EOS in his business.
Oh, did he? I
And
didn't know that.
yeah, and so I mean, we do the level 10 meeting. I think that's what it's called, right? The 90
The
minute.
level 10, yeah. The
We do
L10.
the level 10 every Monday, and just he met the guy who's walking us through it at another conference, and I think he's paid this guy, and he wouldn't mind me sharing this, but I think he's paid this guy maybe 35, 40 grand, right?
Yeah, that's about right. That's the going rate. And it's typically $5,000 to $9,000 per session
Yep.
with an EOS implementer.
Yep. And so, I mean, we have our last one coming up in a couple weeks, and he's going to, come out and meet with us and walk us through it. But again, I'm only sharing that. Let's say it's about 40 grand for Brent to go through this process. An agent at eXp, a team leader at eXp, can go through the process for $2,500. Less than what
text Brent and tell him like, man, what are you doing? You could have gone through TLA, Brent.
less than what it would cost. Less than what it would cost, like for half of one session.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
And so you mentioned one agent or one team started around. Was it you at 12, or there was another agent that started and they've added a bunch of agents?
Yeah. So Team Peterson Jackson is one of the teams that was in the beta. We had them on our last Team Leader Academy cohort, and they taught what they've done. So it's so funny. They came through TLA. They've added 48 net agents, right, to their team since they graduated, and then they came back and they taught this last TLA cohort. They literally opened their playbook. Like, this is everything we've done. Here's links to it. Here's, everything. Here's the scripting. Here's the deck. Here's everything that we do. It's super cool to work with so many agents, teams, solos, it doesn't matter, who just open their playbook and want to give back.
That's one of the benefits about eXp. I mean, Gene talks about it all the time. Brent says it all the time. One big fire. Or is that Jay Kinder? I can't remember. One of those guys. Yeah. One big fire. And that is exactly what eXp has been over the years that I've been there. But just to further refine the value of this team, this EOS platform that eXp provides for a nominal fee of $2,500. So again, Brent paid 40 grand to go through it. How much revenue do you think that team generated off of bringing on additional 48 agents? Like how much value, how much money did they get out of going through this program?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question. I asked, we have some top agent masterminds once a quarter, and I asked, I think it was two masterminds ago, said, what is a team member? What is that worth to you, right? And it depends on your structure, right? So there's no one answer,
sure.
But I got anywhere from $30,000 to $120,000, right? So that's what a team member can help that team generate. So if you think of how do you scale your team, and that's just, so by the way, the 48, and I don't know off the top of my head how many of those, I don't know if any of those were given to them through growth assistance. So growth assistance, if you go through TLA, and you graduate, right, you go through your 7 sessions, one of the benefits is that we as a company will look for eXp agents in your market who might be better on a team, right? So maybe they're struggling a little bit, and they raise their hand and they say, yes, I'm looking for a team. I think I might be, think that might help my business. And we connect those agents with our TLA certified team leaders.
What? That's crazy. That's built-in recruiting. Built-in team growth.
On average, we've given 6.2 team members to every TLA grad. So
wow.
Yeah.
So you use the low end of the margin of the range that you provided, $30,000, 6 agent. That's added an additional $180,000 to that team's revenue.
Yep.
Wow. Yep. So that right there covers your $2,500.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah,
just a little bit. But let's say out of 48. So you said they added 48 agents, right? Let's say again.
Yeah.
On the bottom, it's $30,000. That's an additional $1.4 million in revenue.
Super crazy.
Seems like a great deal for $2,500.
Kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Susan, it's been an absolute joy having you on the show. Before we wrap up, is there anything that you want to share or say, or how can people with eXp get in contact with you if they have questions?
Oh, so number one, I'll say come see me at eXpCon in like a week and a half, right?
October 20th, I think it kicks off.
Yeah, I fly out on the 18th. So come see me in person at eXpCon in Miami. Would absolutely love to say hi in person. Other than that, you can reach most agents have my cell phone number, and I love it. I love it. So workplace, it actually used to be on my profile. So, but you can reach me in Slack. You can reach me, cell phone, email, whatever.
Reach out to me. I'll get you connected with Susan.
Exactly. Yes. But I'm definitely here to help, no matter if you're a brand new agent or, you've got a massive team and you're looking to scale it. I'm here to help.
You're awesome, Susan. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Johnny. It was great to be here.
One of my favorite things to do is to go to the movies. I love sitting in a movie theater, enjoying the smell of popcorn, just relaxing and escaping into another world. But if you're anything like me, I will oftentimes go to Rotten Tomatoes and check out the reviews. Before I spend my money and my time at a movie theater, I want to make sure that it's going to be a good movie. So I check out the reviews and I want to know, okay, is this going to be worth my time and money? And we advise you to do that when it comes to selecting who is going to help you sell your home or purchase a new home. Don't just trust what friends and family have said. Actually, go check out their Google reviews. Like our good buddy Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty, if you search him, you are going to find over 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Seriously, over 1,000 of them. How does that happen? It's because he and his team have proven time and time again that they are great at what they do. They are friendly, they are trustworthy, they are honest, genuine, and they net you the most money when it comes to selling your home. So if you're curious how they can help you and you want to check out their reviews, just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.
This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
More and more people, Matt, are leaving California and moving to places like Texas and Florida. I know we've talked about how Texas isn't my thing, but did you see that video about Florida recently?
No. Oh, with the alligator?
With the alligator, yeah.
Sure, that's incredible.
It looks like a suburban neighborhood.
So you've got this little toddler who's basically 2 feet away from his front door, and up comes this giant alligator, like 10 feet long.
At least.
And the mom is yelling, get away, come inside. And this alligator is slowly still approaching the door. She jumps out, grabs her kid. The alligator snaps at them.
Yep.
And she's able to bring her child back in. But that's crazy. It's like a suburban neighborhood.
Yeah. It's like if all of a sudden there's a gator walking around in Roseville.
Yeah.
Nope.
Just right up to their front lawn.
And the kid's like, no, I'm trying to feed it. And he wouldn't come inside.
Unbelievable. Yeah, like he's used to alligators just walking around the neighborhood.
That's another good
Only
point.
in Florida, right? I was really trying to focus in on the video, and it looks like in the background there was a lot of trees and brush. So maybe near the area there's some kind of swamp or wetlands that gator is coming from.
Maybe.
This ain't a pet from one of the neighbors. This alligator had to come from somewhere.
True, but I just wouldn't want to live where that could happen.
I have a former coworker who moved to South Carolina, and she sends me pictures and videos all the time. In her backyard, literally, there's like a swamp, and there's alligators that live in it. That's just the way it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's
No,
like
thank
turkeys
you.
to us here in Sacramento. Hey, look, there's a herd of turkeys running through the street. And same thing. For them, it's alligators.
All right. Well, they can.
But that's why you would never move to Florida because of the alligators.
That's one reason. I want to be able to let my kid outside and not
Everybody's got their thing, though. California has its homeless.
Yep.
California we've all got our things.
We all have our things. You know why there's no homeless in Florida?
Why?
Because the alligators. Nobody's sleeping out with the alligators around.
There you go.
So we need to get some of those suckers out here, actually. But anyways, speaking about real estate and things that are happening in the market, I saw this video recently by a guy. His name's Jared James. We were talking about him earlier on the show.
Another JJ initials. What is this with you and JJs?
Hey,
I just don't
can't
get
help it. I can't help it.
You just surround yourself with JJs.
I surround myself with greatness
That's
and
right.
JJs. But he was talking about, so for those of you who don't know, he's a bit of a, he talks about what's happening in the market, informs agents, informs, clients, and just kind of, this is what's coming, or this is what happened, or this is why this is the way it is.
Right.
And we've talked before about how I think interest rates shouldn't, there's been a lot of pressure to lower interest rates.
Right.
I do not think that is a good thing. And he says it more articulately, Jared does, but essentially low interest rates got us into the mess that we're in right now, where people are not wanting to sell because they don't want to give up their 2, 3, 4% interest rates.
Right.
And also it drove affordability down, right? The cost of houses went up because you could afford more on a lower interest rate.
Right.
And so now we have this nasty mess where people are just not moving. It's the slowest market in over 30 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are fewer homes selling today than there was 30 years ago when there was.
Well, it's understandable, right? If someone who has a 3% interest rate and they want to sell their home and they're going to turn around and purchase a new home for 6%, That's tough, right?
It is tough. Affordability is the number one challenge, but the reason why we got in this mess is because we messed with the market to try and help people out, and we actually ended up causing a bigger problem. And so by pushing interest rates down,
who pushed interest rates down? How did we get to that point?
They was because of COVID. They slammed them down to try to keep everybody spending money and keep the market going.
Right.
Right. And so when the country was going through COVID, the real estate market was going through some of its hottest years ever. Like it was the weirdest thing. We couldn't go inside. We couldn't do open houses. So there'd be people standing outside, lines of people outside houses with their masks on to go in and do their showings. People were writing offers and they were going $10, $20, $100,000 over list, waiving all contingencies. It was crazy. And the reason what fueled all that was the low interest rates. And so now on the backside of all that mayhem, we have people who are not wanting to move, people who can't afford to move, and it's because they're still hoping for those lower interest rates. 6% interest rates, yes, it's high. It's higher than obviously 3%, but it's not historically high. Historically, it's below the normal. And so interest rates, if we drop interest rates, it does not solve the problem. It's just putting a Band-Aid on it. And the problem is affordability. And so ultimately, I think prices do need to come down. That's what I think is eventually going to solve this issue. And so anyways, that's kind of what we're seeing. So
how does that happen?
Affordability?
How does prices come down? How do you convince someone, well, you need to drop the price?
Well, we're seeing it already. I'm starting to see it. So for example...
So you're saying it's going to happen just naturally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So naturally it will happen because eventually these people that have 2%, 3%, 4% interest rates are going to have to sell. You don't stay in your house forever. Even if you die, you sell the house. Like the house is typically sold.
Right.
And right now, 20% of mortgages in existence have rates over 6%. Right. And as we see that number grow, the number of mortgages that are over 6%, I think you'll see more movement in the market because they're selling their house that has a 6% interest rate and buying another house with a 6% interest rate. You'll see that more movement. You'll see more movement. And so, for example, this weekend, I don't know what happened, but the market we had a lot of activity. We probably, in this last weekend alone, we put in, I want to say 10, maybe 11 houses in escrow in just one weekend, right? Most agents will do a couple houses a year, 6 houses a year. We did almost double that in one weekend. And one of the reasons...
What do you attribute that to?
And the reason why is because we're able to now get sellers. Like sellers are now realizing, hey, this is the market. They're not looking at what the house sold for in 2021 or 2022 or what their neighbor's house sold for last year. They're realizing, hey, this is the market we're in, and they're listening to us because they've been hearing it on the news. They've been seeing it on television.
Or maybe do they think that feds are going to cut rates and that if they sell their home, maybe potentially they can find a home and get a loan at a lower rate, expecting the Fed to cut the rates again before the end of the year? You think? No, that's not what these people have been. Two houses that we put in escrow were a probate sale. One, she's priced $25,000 below anybody else on the marketplace, and they're just buying another house. Another one, they had been on the market with another agent. They had been in escrow 3 different times, and we were able to get them in contract. And I think we were at the same purchase price as the previous agent. So it wasn't like we came in and slashed the price. Right.
It's just you're seeing more movement. And so I'm curious to see if we have a stronger winter because people are, moving because of the lower interest rates. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But
so these folks that are selling, you said 10 homes went into escrow over the weekend.
Yeah.
Where are they? Are they moving within the greater Sacramento area? Are they moving out of state? Are they downsizing? What would you say?
All of the above.
All of the above.
It's just a smattering. There's not like one thing that's driving the market right now. But what I will say is new construction is getting super competitive. So if you are looking
I can see it just driving around. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can see price adjustment.
The offers and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll give you a puppy and we'll pay for your kid's college.
Free pizza with
the purchase of a house. Yeah, so they're getting super competitive. The places that I feel that are going to be negatively impacted more than others are areas near new construction. So if your house is a 2022 and they're still building brand new houses next to you, then why would somebody buy your 3-year-old house when they can buy a brand new house?
And they've got all those incentives.
With paid off solar, a lower interest rate, and they get to pick everything for less money.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see the areas around new builds will be hit a little bit harder than like a Fair Oaks would.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we come back from this, we will talk about what's happening as far as how to get your house sold in today's market. So, for example, before we go to the break, I don't know what we haven't officially, I don't think they signed yet, but we had offers, $20,000, $25,000, $50,000. I think the highest one came in over $75,000 above list price, and we had over 90 people through that house.
Wow.
90 people through the house in today's market, and we'll share exactly how we did that coming up.
You know, it's probably on a weekly basis where I will talk with someone who wants to sell their home, but they say, Matt, well, first I got to do this, and then I got to do that, and first I got to do this. And they're talking about all these repairs and things they have to do on the home before they can put it on the market, like the backyard needs some updates on the fence over here, or the bathroom needs this fixed, and the kitchen needs upgraded here, and the roof needs this done. And I'm like, well, have you called Johnny Jennings first with Made for More Realty? Because he's got this great program where he will give you at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. So no repairs, no organization, no staging, no open houses, just 3 cash offers on your home as is. So imagine the relief and the time saved and the expenses saved if you can just make it easy, simple, quick. And he's going to net you the most money possible. So what do? You just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. If you want it easy, simple, save you a lot of time and hassle, just reach out to him. Again, Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.
This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
So it was a busy weekend for the Made for More Realty group. And one of the reasons why is we had just some listings just pop off, a lot of interest, a lot of activity. And the main reason why these houses had so much activity on it is because they listened to us.
Right.
They listened to us. They let us run the marketing plan, our proven process. It works. We've sold thousands of houses doing this, and they just let us use it. But so, for example, on one of them, we went live Thursday. We had showings, Thursday night we had showings Friday, and then Saturday we could just see on our showing tool scheduler that we use, like just stacking up before the open house. Then it was madhouse during the open house, and then you could see just a bunch of showings after.
Well, it was
the
a
open
beautiful weather. People want to get out, shop.
But I mean, there's other homes on the market that people could look at, but for whatever reason, we had 45 private showings. So that's not in the open house. And then the agent that held the house open, she said there were over 40 groups that came through. So over 90 different potential sets of buyers walked through this house in one day.
Where was this home?
Fair Oaks.
Fair Oaks. And what was so special about it?
What was special is, I mean, it is somewhat of a desirable neighborhood, but it's not super desirable. Like, it's not like this elite neighborhood.
Right.
It's an entry-level price point. It's a single-story home.
It's an older home. Do you know what year?
Home. Yeah. I want to say the 70s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it hadn't been updated. Like
no,
updated.
Really? So people are looking for a bargain. Is that basically what you think was happening?
So what happened was real quick side note, the first agent to show the house on Saturday morning lost the key. He lost the key, and then there's like this massive swell.
So you just got to leave the house open then all day.
But then eventually someone's got to lock it up, or if there's any if there's any lull in between the showings, is one agent going to stand around to the next? He doesn't know who's coming or when.
They couldn't find the key, huh?
He ended up finding it. It ended up being a huge it was a thing.
You can't leave till you find the key.
At 8:00, he did not. Other agents will. But kudos to that gentleman. He did find the key and stay until it was figured out. But should I forget? So what we did was we had the inspection work done, right? So we had all the inspections that we could provide buyers for up front. You've heard me talk about this before, so that we can certify the home as a certified pre-owned home.
Right.
Then they had it deep cleaned. Then after it was cleaned, Then we had our stager come out and stage the property. And even though it's, a 1970s build with dated appliances, dated flooring, dated everything.
Really?
You bring in modern furniture, it helps spruce up the property. And then they asked me, Johnny, what do you think we should price it at? And I said, hey, if you want to test it, go here. If you want to be aggressive, go here. I'm like, well, we trust your judgment. What would you do if it was your house?
First question, real quick. Who are the homeowners? Were they looking to move to another area, upgrade, move out of town? What was their motivation for selling the house?
Yeah, so it was their parents' property.
Oh, okay. So they wanted to sell their parents' property.
Yeah, and so one family member lives locally and another lives out of state.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they were just
So they were somewhat motivated to get this thing sold.
Well, they've been working on this now, when somebody dies, because I'm going through this right now with my grandparents, it's not just, put the house on the market. You have to clear it out. You have to get that property ready. There's all these other trust estate type things you have to do.
Right.
So they've been working on this for nearly a year. And they hope to begin the process sooner, but here we are.
There you go. Okay.
And so they listened to us and they said, Johnny, we want to net the most amount of money possible. What is it you would do if this was your house? And I told them. And, lo and behold, I thought we would have good turnouts.
What did you tell them?
Oh, I told them.
You'd price it aggressively?
Yeah, so I told them to price it using, so what we use buyer brackets. So basically it's how people search online. At her price point, it's typically every $25,000. So $450 or less, $450 or less, $425 or less, $500 or less.
Right.
So I said, hey, this is the best buyer bracket for you. And
you said it was an entry level price, correct?
Yeah. So
Which
we
was
listed
what
it
was
$499.
$499.
Yeah.
And how many square feet?
I don't have all the details pulled up in front of me, but it was.
Is it like a 3 and 2?
It was a 4-2 house, but it was like really small. It wasn't. The rooms weren't like massive. Again,
right.
had
no upgrades.
No upgrades.
Original appliances and all that.
Like those older houses, you walk in and you flip the light on, but the light's a lamp. Right, it's not.
Right.
It's not a light fixture.
Correct.
And so you walk in this house without the furniture and stuff in it. You flip the light on. It's dark. It's very dim.
Right.
And so, anyways, we just got. They listened to us, and so we had the home inspection.
Just listen.
We had it deep cleaned. We had the staging done, and then they listened to our pricing strategy. And now they were gonna. So my goal was to get them $525, $530, and priced it at $499. We're probably going to get them much more than that. Like we had multiple offers above $550.
That's crazy.
And they're ecstatic. And just so we know, yes, there are comps in the neighborhood that have sold for $600, $650, but these are like turnkey properties.
Right.
These are somebody who bought them probably for $450, $470, put 60 to 70 grand into them.
Yeah.
And then made a profit. Nothing wrong with making a profit, but now we're getting close. In a market that's slowing down, we're getting close to these rehab type level prices because we created so much interest and activity, and people are like, well, what's an extra 5,000? I'll bump it another 5. What's
Right.
another 10? I'll bump it another 10. They've bought into the process. They're emotionally invested, but you don't get somebody emotionally invested unless they've been in the property or unless they think that they can have it, and now they might not
Correct.
get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a huge psychological process that goes on that people just don't understand. And I get it because you haven't sold a house in a while, if ever. It's been 7 to 10 years. We sell a house on average every 3 days. So we know this process works, but if you haven't walked through it, it's scary.
So absolutely. So to play that psychological game is what you're doing, right? There's still that fear factor that homeowners have. And well, what if there's no high demand? Then all of a sudden I'm going to lose all this money. And, is that what it is? They're just afraid. They don't trust the system. They don't trust how this psychological game works in creating demand.
Correct.
That raises the price.
Yeah. So they're worried that if they start too low, they're going to leave money on the table.
Yeah.
But what they don't understand, and sellers just don't understand, is that if you start too high, you're almost guaranteed to leave money on the table. Because you're going to start too high, you're not going to get any interest, and you're going to come down, you're going to get maybe some interest, then you're going to come down again, and then you'll get somebody that comes in and offers way lower than what you're currently listed at. They're the only offer on the table. You feel like you have to take it because you haven't any offers in 90 days.
Right.
And versus flipping the script, and now you're in the driver's seat. And I even walk into people's houses almost on a daily basis, and I say, hey, look, here's what the houses are selling for. Here's the sales price, the list price. If it's over 100%, then that means the house sold for above the list price. It sold for more than what the seller was asking for. And I will show them examples in their neighborhood of how houses were priced at a certain price point and they sold for more. So just because it's priced at a specific number doesn't mean the house can't sell for more than that number. Just because it's priced at $499 doesn't mean it can't sell for $550, right? Similar to if it's priced at $650 doesn't mean it can't sell for $600.
Yeah.
But people just don't understand. It's really scary to them. But the results show. I mean, go on to Google. Go on Google. Check us out. If we were doing bad business, you would see it, right? We have over 1,000 5-star reviews, more than anybody in the area.
Right. And you can always say no, right?
And you can always say no, right? If you don't like the offers, you can always say no. But what ends up happening is if you start high, there's nothing to say no to. There's nothing to say no to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a death of 1,000 cuts. And in today's market, prices are falling. And so if you start high, you're burning days, you're losing leverage, and it's like trying to catch a falling knife. And so maybe the house was worth 600, you started at 625, and now you drop it to 600. Well, now maybe the house is worth 585.
Right.
And so now you've lost $15,000 because you didn't price it correctly out the gate.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn more, if you want a private one-on-one session with me, I will come out, meet you at your property. We will walk it. It does not take long. I will give you tips on how to get the home ready, whether you're looking to sell now or in the next, 3 years. I can give you pointers on how to get that home show ready so you are prepared to go to the market.
And what's great is the example that you just gave, they didn't have to do, obviously you did the inspections, right? And you did a deep clean, but they weren't upgrading the appliances. They weren't upgrading the flooring and all of that in order to get a great price for their home. And so imagine if you can save all of that time and money in doing that and still get a good price for your home. That's a lot of work if you're going to go through all the repairs and the time and the investment. What a relief. And
just hit the easy button.
Yeah.
Just go to madeformorerealty.com. Give us a call. I hate it when people, contact us and they've spent a lot of money on things that aren't going to move the needle.
Right.
Don't throw your money away. Don't waste it. Just go to madeformorerealty.com and I'll tell you exactly how to position your property so it sells for top dollar.